Now let's just see the next question, question number 3, which says that 2 water taps together can fill a tank in 9 by 8 hours, or if we'll solve it, this would be nothing but 75 by 8 hours. The tap of the larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one to fill the tank separately. Find the time in which each tap can separately fill the tank. So we just wanted to find out the time taken by each tap to fill the tank separately. So let's just start this question. First of all, we have to assume that, so let us suppose if we are talking about the assumption, so let's just take the time taken by the tap which do have a smaller diameter or with a larger diameter, be x and y. So let the time taken by smaller tap. So basically, if I'm saying smaller tap, so I'm talking about the tap which do have a smaller diameter. So that's why I'm taking it as a smaller tap. So let the time taken by the smaller tap, which definitely do have a smaller diameter. So let the time taken by the smaller tap be x hours. So let us suppose if I'm taking it as x hours, be x hours, and the time taken by the larger tap be y hours. So h is actually representing hours. So the time taken by the smaller tap be x hours, and let the time taken by the larger tap be y hours in order. So actually we are basically talking about filling a tank. So this would be like time taken by the smaller tap to fill a tank is x hours, and the time taken by the larger tap be y hours. And moreover, we can also say that, as we can see over here, we have the tap of the larger diameter takes 10 hours, which are less than the smaller one. So what does it mean? According to the question, it is given to us that the time taken by the larger diameter takes 10 hours less than the smaller one, which means that the time taken by the larger tap, that is y, is nothing but is equal to 10 hours less than the smaller one, means x minus 10. According to the condition, it is given to us that the time taken by the larger tap should be of the form x minus 10, and that is nothing but y. So it means that in place of y, we can use x minus 10 hours. So y is nothing but is equal to x minus of 10 hours. So remember, the time taken by the larger tap to fill the tank is nothing but x minus 10 hours. Now let's just talk about the time or the part they take in order to fill a tank in just 1 hour. So we just wanted to find out their efficiency of filling the tank in just 1 hour. So let's just talk about it. So let's just, if we are saying the part filled by the smaller tap, the part which is filled by the smaller tap or we can say the part filled by the smaller tap in just 1 hour, should be nothing but is equal to 1 by x. Why so? Because we know that the time taken by the smaller tap to fill a tank was nothing but x hours. So if we are talking about its 1 hour efficiency of filling a part of a tank, so this would be nothing but 1 by x. So part filled by the smaller tap in 1 hour is nothing but 1 by x. Furthermore, we can say that a part of the tank, basically we are talking about the part of the tank, because both of the taps are actually filling the tank. So if I write it over here as a part of a tank, we are basically talking about, so part of a tank filled by the larger tap in 1 hour. So again, we are talking about the larger tap, that a part of the tank which should be filled by the larger tap in 1 hour should be nothing but of the form 1 by Y again, because we know that the larger tap was actually filling the tank in Y hours. So if we are talking about its 1 hour efficiency, that how much part of the tank it should fill, so it should be nothing but 1 by Y, but we know that the value of Y is actually nothing but 1 by X minus of 10. So this would be 1 by X and this would be 1 by X minus of 10. Now let's just further talk about the condition which is given to us, that the two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 3 by 8 hours. So according to the question, again it is mentioned to us that the two water taps together, can fill a tank in 9 3 by 8 hours. So let us suppose if we are again talking about its 1 hour, that how much part should be filled by both of them in just 1 hour. So this would be nothing but, let us suppose if I'll solve this 9 3 by 8 first. So again we can say the two water taps together can fill a tank in 9 3 by 8 is 9 into 8 is 72. 72 plus 3 is nothing but 75 by 8 hours. So let's just talk about their 1 hour, that how much part should be filled by. So part filled by two water taps together in 1 hour should be 8 by 75, obviously. And again, using this condition, we can say that it says part which is filled by the two water taps. It means we are talking about the tap having the smaller diameter and the one which is the larger. So it means both of them together are filling the part of a tank in 1 hour, which is nothing but is equal to 8 by 75. So according to this particular condition, we can say that 1 by X plus 1 by X minus of 10 is actually nothing but is equal to 8 by 75. How? As you can see over here, we have written over here that the part which is filled by the two water taps together in just 1 hour. We are talking about both of the taps. So we do know that individually a part filled by the smaller tap is 1 by X and a part of a tank which is filled by the larger tap is 1 by X minus 10. So together they are filling a part of a tank in 1 hour in 8 by 75 formation. So it means 1 by X plus 1 by X minus 10 is equal to 8 by 75. So let's just solve this particular P by Q formation. So first of all, we are taking the LCM as nothing but X into X minus 10. So this would be X minus 10 plus of X, which is equal to 8 by 75, So let's just solve it further. As we can see, we have X and X over here. So X and X is 2X minus of 10 divided by, we have X square minus of 10X, which is equal to 8 by 75. Let's just take the elements above by cross multiplying. So it would be nothing but 75 into 2x minus of, this would be 75 into 2x minus of 10, which is equal to 8 into x square minus of 10x. So this would be nothing but 0 and 150, x minus of 750, which is equal to 8x square minus of 80x. Let us suppose if I am rearranging it as 8x square minus of 80 of x minus of 150 of x plus of 750, which is equal to 0. Furthermore, we can write it as 8x square minus of, this would be nothing but 230 of x plus 750, which is equal to 0. So as you can see, we have the elements as, or we have the quadratic equation as 8x square minus 230 of x plus 750 is equal to 0. So we can find the factors of this particular quadratic equation by the middle term splitting method again. So let us suppose if I am writing it as 8x square minus 200 of x minus of 30 of x plus of 750 is equal to 0. Let us suppose if I am writing it in this particular formation. So again, what can we say about this? Let us suppose if I am taking the elements common out of it. So if I'll take the elements as 8 common out of it, so what would this be? Let us suppose if I am taking 8 common out of it, so this would be 8x. So the element that would be left out should be, as we have taken 8x common out of it, so we have x square, so the x is left, minus of further, let's just divide 208, so we have 8 into 2 is 16, we are left out with 4, so this would be nothing but 5. So we have 25, so this would be x minus 25. Now let's just take minus 30 common out of it, so we have again x minus 25, because 25 into 30 is 750, which is equal to 0. It means we are getting the factors of this quadratic equation as x minus 25, 8x minus of 30, which is equal to 0. So let's just take them equal to 0. So the x minus 25 is equal to 0. Further, 8x minus of 30 is equal to 0. So if we'll solve it, this would be x is equal to 25 and this would be 8x, which is equal to 30, and at the end x is equal to 25 and x is equal to 30 by 8. Both of these value we are getting. Now let's just substitute x as 25 and x as 30 by 8 in the second thing that we have, that the time taken by the larger tap was actually y hours. So as we can see, if we'll substitute the value of x as 25 in this particular equation, let us suppose I'm calling it as 1. If I'll substitute x as 25 in the equation number 1, so let us suppose I'm taking the cases. So for the case number 1, when I'm taking x is equal to 25, then from the equation number 1, we are getting y is equal to 25 minus of 10. So let us suppose I'm writing the hours over here. So this would be nothing but 15 hours. So it means for the case number 1, when I'm taking the value of x as 25 hours, I'm getting the value of y as 15 hours. So for x is 25 hours, I am getting y as 15 hours. Now let's just talk about the second part. Now let's just talk about the second part or the second case. So if we are talking about the case number 2, we have x as nothing but 30 by 8 hours. We have x as nothing but 30 by 8 hours. Let's just find out the value of y. So if we are finding the value of y, so this would be 30 by 8 minus of 10. If we'll take the LCM, so this would be 30 minus of 80 divided by 8. This would be minus of 50 divided by 8. Obviously the time is nothing but negative. The time y was actually a time which is taken by the second tap to fill the tank. So y is coming out to be negative. Obviously we cannot take the time as negative. So this term is totally neglected. Means this case is totally neglected. We cannot take the value of x as 30 by 8 because of the negative sign. Because of this negative sign that we have, the time is actually coming out to be negative, which we cannot take. So it means the case 2 is totally neglected. Hence the answer is coming from the case number 1, and the case number 1 is x is equal to 25 hours and y is equal to 15 hours. Means the time taken by the smaller tap was 25 hours and the larger tap is nothing but 15 hours. So this is nothing but the solution set of this particular question.